Let's start with debugging, as I call it. I might have made some typos, and you might have some typos as well, and they're probably not the same. So if it works with me, it does not mean that it works for you. The first thing we do, if we want to start our application, we go to the directory where let me check where app.js is located, and we see here app.js, that's our app directory config package.json, and I start the application with node space app.js. I get an error, can't find module express, and that's probably right because the Node modules aren't installed. So first I have to do an npm install. An npm install that will check everything that is in here in the dependencies, and that will install Express and Mongoose. So Express and Mongoose are installed at this moment. Well, we have to wait a little bit, but that's okay. And after that we can start the app again. And how that will look like, what we did just now was going to localhost port 3000. That's where it will run if we're developing local, and it's not there. Well, let's check again. So now it's here, it's installed. I do node app.js again, and I get a message, Express server listening on port 3000. I go to port 3000, there it is, accept, no data. So I did something wrong. I forgot something. Let me check. I do here a mongoose. That's not necessary. I do here a mongoose. And what I didn't do was connect to the database. So what I forgot in one of the first steps is to connect to the database. Now it's there. Okay, so I've created that connection to Mongoose. Let's check if it's working now. So on app.js I added these 2 lines, or with comments from 22 till 27. Okay, then let's check it again. Nothing happens. Why not? Because if you modify your app.js file, it doesn't reload the app.js. So I have to quit it, Ctrl+C or Ctrl+C twice, depending on your operating system. And I have to do it again. So start it again, it's running, and there I got my books. The books in here, I see I imported it. That's a different movie, won't go into it now. You have to look for that. And here I have my books. So if I click on one of these books, then I can view the details. It's working. Now, you might have some other mistakes, or you can, for developing, you can get other mistakes. One of the mistakes typically that's happening is that you forget that one of your routes is not properly defined. For instance, the first thing I do is getting a book list. Suppose that's with a different name, books. That does not exist. I did change it, so I have to reload it. Go to this one, and what I see here is a 404 error. Nothing wrong, no error in the browser, but I have to look on the console from Node that there is an error. And that's a 404, and 404 is that file is not available. And that's right. Something else. So let's try that again. And you see it's again a 404. And I did change it, and books does exist, except for this last slash. If that's wrong, it has to be exactly this one. So be aware of that. Now it's working. So let's check that. And here my books are again. Something else that might go wrong if there is a controller function that does not exist. There is no such a thing as lists. So if I will start this again, then I get an error immediately in here, and that is, let me check where that is. I can read this better. That is on books.js. Here the error is line 23, the controller does not exist. And that's right, because I made a typo. So here you find two in two versions, so 3 maybe, errors that you might see when you're developing this. What I always suggest is check your routes table. Start in here. Are your routes properly? Did you use the proper request method? Is your request URL right? Are the slashes and parameters right? Is the mapping to the controller right? So this routes table, that will guide you to the errors that will come up first. So that's it, we're done. Now, let's check. So debugging, we're finished, completely finished. So we have a round trip full stack development for maintenance for a form on a collection. Okay, that's it. End of the videos.